What's up, everybody? Mac Bentosh here with the few-day review of the Jawbone UP. So this is it, as I showed you before during the unboxing. Really cool little rubberized bracelet here. A couple things that worried me is that this bracelet would constantly be pulling at your skin or pulling at the hair on your arm or something like that. Hasn't been the case. It's a very soft rubber. The device doesn't feel squishy, but there's some give in the coating of rubber. So if you're familiar with the Jawbone Jam Box or any of the Jawbone earpieces that you actually put on, that's very similar to what this type of rubber is. That's how it feels and how it grips and whatnot. So hasn't been any concerns there. The only concern I have is that the fact that you will lose this at some point or another. This is going to be taken off to charge or taken off to sync, and you're going to forget where you set it, or it's going to get brushed off the counter and onto the floor, and you will never see it again. Um, Hopefully Jawbone does something in the fact of maybe in the future packaging they'll throw one in there. They'll give you a way to get one or two replacements for free. Or if any of you had, I believe when the first Jawbone Icon came out, they shipped it with no earpieces that held it into your ear without the ear hook, so you could go to your place of purchase and pick up a little baggie for free of the twist to lock into your ear hooks. So maybe they'll have something like that where you just go to the Apple Store and they give you a little free baggie of these things. Um, or even just a way that Jawbone can incorporate this to just stay attached, or maybe like a twist design where you twist this and then the earphone thing pops out. But I guess they're doing this to keep it waterproof is really the only way. Um, Bracelet, I have no concerns with. It's been tracking everything like it's supposed to. It's been just solid. One thing I do want to point out is when you do measure it a little further down on your wrist than just kind of way high up, because this does kind of, you start to feel it more when you start moving your wrist around. You can feel it there. So if you do it about an inch back, you don't feel it anymore. Your wrist doesn't touch it at all, so you kind of don't even notice it there anymore. What's really cool is that even if it doesn't fit just right, you'll notice that when you kind of do things, the bracelet will, the spring action of it will kind of spread out and do whatever it needs to do to get out of the way. The thing that doesn't do it for me right now is the application. So if I can get my phone unlocked here, I'll show you what the screen looks like. This is the main screen you see every time you load up the Jawbone app. You've got on one side over here, you've got your sleep, you've got your meal tracking, and then in the middle you've got your activity. So the thing on the meal tracking is kind of lacking in the fact that all you do really is take a picture of what you ate, and then in a couple hours it'll send you a push notification and say, how did you feel about what you ate? And from there you can say, I felt energized, I felt okay, I felt stuffed, I felt bad. And so it kind of lets you figure out what is going to be the best thing to eat for you. But for me, I'm looking for more of a you know consistent, I ate this many calories, I burned this many calories. That would be nice to see in here. A couple of things, there are some bugs. So you turn it sideways and you get no information right off the bat sometimes. Sometimes you have to come in here and play with this little timeline to get any information to show up. Um, or it'll just get stuck in the landscape screen and you have to go landscape and go back here to get it to go. Yeah, just like this. So now it's stuck in landscape, no information's loading till I come here and, you know, play with the sidebar, and then I'll get info. I'll switch around, and then the only way to get it back is to go back up here. The team stuff is pretty neat, so being able to go to a team member and say, hey, I challenge you to take 6,000 more steps than you did yesterday, or drink 3 glasses of water, which when you upload water, it treats it as food, so it treats it as one of your 3 meals, which is kind of goofy. There should be a separate way to track food and a separate way to track water, a separate way to track a snack or something like that, which would be nice to have. Um, Also, being able to just tap on any one of these 3 fields and see just that information. So if I tap on just the sleep, that's all I want to see. Right now, when you tap on one of those, it takes you into your whole day's activity of what you've done. So I kind of want to see just my sleep. I mean, you can get there by tapping on your sleep, and then it'll give you more information about it. So my sleep quality for the little time that I slept this morning after I took the dogs out was a 35. So just something more along those lines would be nice to have. So other than that, kind of the final wrap up of everything, $100 device, $100, yeah. $100 iPhone bracelet combo. Not quite yet. They're going to need to do some improving on the app. And Jawbone, I guess I heard from one review by Wired, I believe, that Jawbone had said that the food tracking isn't where they want it to be, and they're working on that. So we'll see how that goes. Also, in the future, I could imagine this works for the iPad, so it would be cool to get some iCloud data information, so that if you're on an iPad, or not even iCloud, they could probably track it through just uploading that info to their website to say, hey, here's what you've done. I'm looking at it on my phone. I go look at it on my iPad, and I see the same consistent data. I usually always have my phone with me. Usually, I always have my phone with me, so I can track stuff that way. Um, just adding a picture of what you ate, there isn't a way to add a meal without adding a picture of what you ate. So you can't say, I had blank, and that's what I ate. You have to take a picture of something. So a lot of times I'd try and go track my information in later, and I'd find myself just taking in goofy pictures of whatever just to get that information into the computer so that I could give it a feedback later as to how I felt. I mean, I knew what I ate based upon the title. I don't necessarily need a picture to know that. So I have a lot of things in my timeline graph of either another food that I had in my camera roll, or just a picture with my finger covering the lens so it's all, white or whatever, and I said I had blank. So that can be kind of confusing to team members, so not having to have a a picture that you took at the time. Maybe even if you said I had a burger and it just had a generic cartoon of a burger or an outline of a burger or something like that would be nice. Or I had a bowl of soup and they just have a bowl. Something generic that you can pre-select from and say, hey, this is what I had. And that way your people who are on your team and yourself later can go back and remind yourself. Because a lot of times you're not, on lunch especially, trying to get in and out within that hour, you're not sitting there, okay, my food is here, I'm going to take a picture. I had this is what it was. So something a little beyond that food tracking would be nice. So other than that, if you're interested in tracking your activity, it'd be a nice thing to have. I'm all for people getting healthier. That's kind of why I got it, was to kind of see what I'm doing, help myself improve. I have noticed that one day I did, 10,000 steps in a day. I was like, cool, how'd I do that? And then the next day I did only 6,000, so it kind of pushed me more the next day to do more than I did the previous day. And so with challenges like that, I can say to somebody who I'm challenging, hey, I challenge you to take 3,000 steps. So now that person has to go get up, return the challenge, or complete the challenge. So it's going to be interesting socially, but I think that Jawbone still has a little ways to come on their applications. So other than that, as of right now, it's going to be up to you whether or not to buy it. Or something like a Fitbit, something like that. The difference with the Fitbit is you don't have any instant feedback. You cannot take your Fitbit and load the information in any way other than being near your base station. The Jawbone, if I want to get statistics back, plug it into my phone, download the info, good to go. I can see everything that's going on. So it's really going to be up to you what works best for you. If you're the type of person that likes to have the pedometer clipped on at all time, or if you're the person that likes to have a bracelet that you're probably not going to lose, whereas I've heard people say that the Fitbit wanders off their belt sometimes. So a couple things to take into consideration. Check out Amazon. They've got reviews on Amazon of people that have the Fitbit. I'm sure there's other videos here on YouTube that you can check out. So I hope this answers some questions for you and gives you a little more insight into the Jawbone UP, and hope to give you guys another review of something soon. See ya.